All right, we're getting down to it. A new champ will be crowned this week. Yeah. The men's ACC tournament tipped off today in Greensboro.
Yeah, the tourney actually made its way back to the legendary site, and the last time it was actually in the Triad, it ended in an unusual way. Sports director Nick Carboni joining us now live from the Greensboro Coliseum with the latest on that and much more. Nick?
Hey, Colin. Hey, Vanessa. That's right. 3 years ago, we were here in the Greensboro Coliseum ready to talk about the ACC tournament all week. But of course, we didn't even know it at the time. A couple of days later, this tournament, as well as all of them across the country, would be canceled due to COVID-19. Florida State ended up being named the de facto tournament champion. A men's tournament champion has not been crowned in this building ever since. But we've got a steady crowd coming in for day one, despite none of the Carolina schools tipping off until tomorrow. The question here in Greensboro this week, though, is when will the ACC tournament be back and how often? It was first played here in 1967. Over half of the ACC tournaments since then have been home in Greensboro. But as we know, the conference headquarters is shifting to Charlotte, and the league is expanding its geographical footprint, always looking for new ways to build a presence and more revenue. Next year's tournament is going to be in Washington, D.C., and we don't even know the locations after 2024. But the people we talk to in Greensboro, diehard ACC fans, they would like this tournament to at least stay in the state of North Carolina.
It's definitely a good vibe, good sense of community we have going on here. It's nice to be back, you know, in the hoop state, North Carolina. I know last year it was in Brooklyn, New York, so it was a bit chaotic, but it's nice to be back here at the Greensboro Coliseum today.
All right, so let's talk a little bit of politics. Recently, the state legislature agreed to pay the ACC $15 million as long as it stayed headquartered in the state of North Carolina for another 15 years. The other stipulation was that 4 ACC men's tournaments in the next 10 years also had to be in the state of North Carolina, including right here in Greensboro. So this proud basketball city and building is holding on to this tournament for as long as it can. It certainly will return, but it's going to bounce around. And speaking as a Charlottean, and I know folks at home, we did a pretty good job with it a couple of years ago too, so I think it'll be back in the Queen City before long as well. Guys, we'll send it back to you, but we'll have more on our teams that suit up tomorrow coming up in sports.